Yo,
What up, bro?
what up?
What's
How
up,
we doing,
dude?
dude?
Hi. Hi.
Yo, honestly, every time we do these Zoom interviews, I'm always excited to see what the background scenery is for people. And yours could not be more spot on for you. This is perfect.
Yes, I'm currently on the set of a children's show.
Oh, really?
No, this is actually my living room.
Okay, I was gonna say, I thought it was your room. Okay, that makes more sense.
This is so fitting, man. I love it.
That's
But
a cool setup. Are you in LA?
I am in LA, yes.
How shit over there? You guys are closed down altogether again, right?
I think there's outdoor dining and all that shit.
Oh, okay. I thought they shut that down too.
All I know is there's no Disneyland.
Is that a big issue for you?
Are you a Disney guy?
Huge Disney guy.
Come on, really?
No,
Yeah, okay.
I guess everything I'm saying today is lies. You got to take it with a grain of salt.
Adults at Disney they're weird people. If you go with kids, fine. But if you're with all adults and you're at Disney, I think something's off.
Last time I was there, I found out some really wild shit. There's Disney gangs and stuff. Super interesting.
I don't think I believe you.
Are you fucking with me again?
No, this is actually real. They have territory within the park, and it's super hush hush with Disney because they don't vibe with it.
There's no way you're telling the truth right now.
Dude, it's the most interesting thing about Disneyland for sure. The gangs.
What, do they have names and shit?
Yeah, they have the names are so sick. I wish I could pull one out. They're badass. It's the Tomorrowland. It's hella weird, dude.
Again, I don't know if it's real or not, but whatever it is, it should be a show. That should be your next project you work on, the Disney gangs.
Honestly, I would love to tackle it as a docu-series, but I think all the red tape with Disney, it just wouldn't get made.
Hey, do you believe that Walt Disney's head is frozen?
I don't think that's outside the realm of possibility. Yeah, he was
if there were people to freeze their head, I feel like Walt Disney would be at the top of the list.
Why the head though? Just because the brain? Why not the whole body?
Yeah, that's kind of a good point. Everyone's always like, well, when the technology is there, you can just strap my head to someone another body. Why not just when the technology's there, you probably can just revive the whole fucking thing.
Yeah,
why would you want that? Who wants to be around forever? Who wants to you see what's happening right now? Ollie's going to get better. I'm good to check out whenever my body decides we're out. I have no desire to be resurrected in the future.
Come on, man. You got to believe in a better future, dude. That's the Disney way.
Could you imagine if I revived you, Blake, in 150 years, someone revives you and you wake up into this horrible, shitty life? You'd be like, what the fuck did you bring me back for, guys? This is terrible.
Yeah, I think that's basically the story of Cable, the Marvel X-Men, but I don't know.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. Nobody wants that future shit, dude. I actually did see an interesting tweet of yours, though, right before we started this interview, speak along the same lines. You were talking about, what was it, seeing how many beers you said your iPhone's able to track what? How many steps you take? But Yes, I had a pitch because I've been using a running app during quarantine, just kind of to track how many miles I'm doing. That was never my vibe. I run for my spirit, not for the numbers. But I had a couple homies who have recently got into jogging through quarantine. So I was like, yeah, I'll join the club. I'll join the running club. But I was like, why can't it come up with other information how many beers I drink if it can log every single step? Well, first of all, how many miles are you putting in this? I love how you guys have discovered jogging in the year 2020. It's this new thing, Forrest fucking Gump.
Look, I'm an OG. I've been running for a long time now. Jogging is a meditation for me. But
hipsters of the world.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. It's weird when people are like, yeah, I just started jogging this year. It's really? The hell did you do in PE?
I mean, PE was the last time I jogged, I think, for real.
That's
So
fair.
I'm not much of a jogger over here.
If you have to put a number on that, how many beers do you think you drank in your life? It's a question we do. We have a card game that asks all hypotheticals, and one of them is if you could pick 3 stats for your whole life. When you get to the pearly gates, they tell you how many beers you drank or how many this you ate or how many, anything you've done in your life. What stats would you want to know?
Honestly, once I like tweeted that and like really started to think about it, it's kind of started to freak me out, dude. Like I think I've been drinking longer than I haven't.
Yeah, right.
And
that's an interesting point when you reach that in your life. It's like, wait a minute.
And
the majority of my life I've been boozing.
And it's been pedal to the metal. Like I've never just been like I'll have a beer with dinner or whatever. It's like I freaking go, dude. So I don't know. It's a lot. It's a scary amount, I think.
Have you found yourself drinking more or less in quarantine?
Ebbs and flows, man. I've got my weeks. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. This is a hard seltzer.
Well, it's afternoon in LA. You're good.
That counts. Come on, you're fine. You're good.
Hey man, trust me. You guys, you're speaking my inner monologue right now.
What's your drink of choice?
I pretty much go Bud Light. I'm a Bud Light guy, even though my hat's Budweiser.
That's a classic right there, by the way, though.
Yeah.
Those dogs, man, legendary. I feel
But
like,
I've been messing with hard seltzers too. I don't know. It's kind of a nice change of pace.
Yeah, the seltzers are good. I'm like just a liquor guy. I just do like whiskey on the rocks. But I'll mess around with a seltzer on like like noon on a nice day. Yeah, I'll crack a seltzer.
The thing that's fucked up is my neighbor and one of my best buddies, Atiba Jefferson, he's like a pretty famous skateboard photographer. He's like super into drinking Jägermeister.
No.
So I've had like a weird...
Is he 15 years old?
You would think. He's over 40. That's the sad thing.
You know what? I kind of feel like it comes back around. I feel like if you're like 28, 32 and you're drinking Jaeger, it's like, what the fuck? If you're 40, it's like, that's like your thing. That's like Jaeger. I've been drinking that my whole fucking life.
Yeah. So I'm back on the Jaeger train pretty hard too.
Jaeger was good for me. I always liked Jaeger growing up because it was always chilled. It was like the one thing that people always served cold. And I don't want to be doing shots of like warm ass whiskey. So I was like, fuck it, let's do Jaeger. Until I realized that I felt like I was drinking like deer blood. Like, what the fuck is Jaeger?
That is the lore of it for sure. Like it's some hunter. I looked it up. It's kind of cool. But to be honest, like I find Jaeger shots to be much more acceptable than if you're shooting like vodka. Like when's the last
time? You're talking to the wrong guy. This dude has been forcing vodka shots on me for the last year straight. Just straight vodka. It's sickening.
That feels like such a move of like my younger sister before she turned 21, her and like all her friends would just vodka shots and then hit the club because they couldn't legally buy booze. It's like, what?
I don't know why I started it. I don't know what got me into it. I do know, actually. It was my girlfriend. It's her shot, so it's now like all I do, like instinctively. And I don't love it. It's just a habit. Like it's not my favorite thing. I don't really care for shots. I kind of just like I like what shots do rather than how they taste.
Sure.
But
yeah,
it's
that's like the whole fucking world, John.
Yeah, no, I know. Well, but like I was gonna say, like I wouldn't dress up a shot. You know, like people get like mixed shots. That's just do the job.
I love the waiters though. He'll be like, "Let me get like 6 shots of just vodka," and they're like, "What? Just 6 shots of vodka? Oh, okay, you weirdo."
Yeah, I don't even know. Do you go like a certain top shelf with that, or is it just like the Costco brand?
No, I usually go with like a kettle or like a. I honestly don't even know. I go top shelf. I'm not getting out of the rack. Come on.
Yeah, come on. That's where vodka will hit you hard. You got to get the good stuff. Otherwise, it's like
the hangover the next day too, man. You're drinking shitty vodka. You wake up the next morning, you just want to die.
What do you think? Which liquor do you think has the greatest disparity between top shelf and rack?
I think that is easy tequila.
Tequila, yeah. I feel like you get a bad tequila. It's just like
the difference between brown tequila and clear tequila is like, it's a whole different liquor in my mind.
Yeah. But, you know, you get the right margarita mix, it's go time.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, right? Just let it flow.
Yeah, I'm down.
What is some other, another stat of yours, a lifelong stat? I feel like for people like you, like if you could get up there and find out how many people you've made laugh in your entire life.
Damn, that would be that would be a real special moment for me, for sure.
A staggeringly high number for someone like yourself.
I was more pumped on finding out like cheeseburgers and burritos.
There you go.
Like that, I feel like I'm putting down 2 of each of those things a week. So, and that's been pretty consistent.
A week? I mean, I would hope.
Yeah, right? Come on.
Another classic question of ours: if you could only eat one thing for the rest of your life, burritos or pizza, what would you go with?
I would go burritos. Yeah, I think that might be a California thing, but like a burrito to me, even in shape and everything, it just feels like a human battery that you just plug in and you're good for the day.
See, I think almost the opposite. I think it feels like a human baby that weighs you down for the rest of the day. Like when you drop a Chipotle burrito, you're like, I can't believe I'm about to put all this inside me. It echoes.
I feel that, man, but I don't know. Maybe I'm destined for motherhood. Like a burrito glow.
No, tell me about this new project. I caught the trailer for Woke, and it looks fucking wild, man. It is a weird show. Yeah,
dude, it's actually a super cool project to be a part of. You know, it's definitely very timely as it deals with you know, wokeness, whatever that word may mean to you. I know it encompasses a lot of stuff, but what really drew me to the project is that it approaches these subjects with, you know, a really creative eye. There's like puppetry and animation in it, and it's also a comedic series. So yeah, it's just like the minute I read it and found out who was attached to also be in it, Lamorne Morris and T. Murph and Shashir, is like, I was really just like, yeah, this is something I would really, really love to do.
It gave me, when I watched the trailer, it gave me like Sorry to Bother You vibes, which was like, I love that movie. The movie's wild. And it gave me like, I kind of saw that in it, which sets the bar fucking high.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've seen only the first episode. So once it drops on the 9th, I will be sitting down and watching it with everybody else.
No kidding.
Yeah. I mean, I know everything when I was on set was cool. So I imagine it's going to be good.
Is that something you kind of look for at like this stage in your career? Are you looking for something that's a little different? Like I'm sure you could do like a buddy, funny comedy like in your sleep now, but then you start talking about a show, like you said, with puppetry and animation, and there's this twist of wokeness, and it's like, all right, this is something I've never really seen before or never really done before. Let's go.
Well, that's what was really awesome as well about doing Woke is like, you know, being on set that and the director Mo is so awesome and making you feel comfortable and allowing you to improvise. And it's like still allowing me to do what I do best and being funny on set, but also having the opportunity to be in scenes where the conversation is important and has weight to it. And, you know, real, just like you're actually saying something other than just, you know, going for the joke.
Is there any discomfort in those scenes where you're kind of like, oh man, like this isn't my story to tell? Like I'm sure your character probably isn't doing too much of that talking, but is there any like for you where you're like, I should probably just like take a back seat? Like, and I know like when I see stuff, I'm like, I probably should just like help people talk rather than talk myself.
I mean, that is for sure like a lot of what my character goes through in the season. But yeah, as far as like me personally being able to like lend my talents and voice in, you know, adding to the conversation, that is very attractive to me when I pick a project for sure.
It's crazy how much, and I guess how unfortunate it is, how timely this show is. I mean, it's like, when were you guys shooting it?
Well, that's what's, super weird and like pretty sad is like and also it shows that like it's a conversation that has been needing to be had for quite some time. But yeah, we shot it. I mean, we originally shot the pilot like almost 2 years ago, but we finished shooting this season like the beginning of this year, before like quarantine and Corona and all that. But yeah, it is weird how timely it is. Now it almost feels like some of the stuff that the series has touched on is like just tip of the iceberg stuff. Like as a society now, we're tackling issues even beyond that.
It's like, again, it's not a good thing, but in a way it almost is like maybe people are more apt to watch a show like that and really think about it. Like if you watch that show a couple years ago, maybe you just laugh at the jokes and, you're not thinking about this serious side of it. Hopefully maybe this time around people watch it, they get a kick out of it, and they also are thinking, a step further.
Yeah, and I think also, you're following the journey of the main character, Keith, that Lamorne Morris plays. And, it's just, it speaks to like, even what was personal to me is like, as an artist or a creative, what is your duty? What is required of you and your platform and what you output to the world? And like, I think that's something that everybody can kind of look inward to, and personally is like, what is required of us on our time on earth or whatever.
That's an interesting word though, required, because it's like, I mean, I've gone through it on a very different level where we're blogging and doing podcasts and shit, and a lot of people were like, you have to use your platform to talk about this. And then I tried to do it, and I'm not that good at it. It blows up in my face. It becomes hard, and I'm like, I don't want to do this. But are you required? Do you have to do that? Or, the next project, you're just like, fuck it. I want to just like make dick jokes and have a good time. Is that allowed too?
I mean, I'm a strong believer that like your art is personal to you. You can say whatever you want with it. I mean, there's ways to creatively go about getting a message across. There's ways to just go on your personal Twitter and point blank and say, this is where I stand. But I know, at least for me, I don't like people having to really like guess like, yo, is Blake about this, or is Blake like is Blake an ally? Like, I would hope to know that people know where I stand on stuff, but I also don't, at some point you feel like when you're just being beat over the head by every side of an issue, it starts to break a person. And then like you have a whole new issue of like, what is required of our defenses and our mental health? At some point you have to check in with that, because if you're a fucking human shell, then you're not really adding much to anything.
Right.
That's basically what Twitter does. Twitter I think it either radicalizes you or turns everything into white noise to where you just don't pay attention to it anymore at all.
I think we're the first generations of people that are like truly learning how to navigate social media and what, how it's weaponized against us, how it is a really helpful thing. It's just, we're the gerbils.
The guinea pigs, man. I feel like we're going to look back, or like scientists are going to look back and be like, can you believe, in like the early to mid, whatever, 2000s, people were just like on social media 24/7. Like, of course they all went fucking crazy. I don't think it's natural. I don't think it's normal for us to be like this stimulated and arguing this much and all that shit.
It started when we were young too. Our generation, I've said it before, I think our generation is the most experimented on ever. I don't think that's a question. It's not like it's definitively like 6 years old. It was like, here's your fucking Ritalin, go to school. And then then they're like, all right, here's the internet. Figure out how this works, you guys. And like, we're all just fucking insane, fucking medicated people. And it's weird. We're all fucking nuts.
Yeah. Well, damn.
Yeah, man. You mentioned Lamorne Morris, who is, he's a funny fucking dude. I feel like New Girl is kind of having this this renaissance or resurgence, if you will. Like, there was the fans of when it was on, but because of Netflix and then quarantine, it's had this new rise. And I feel like a lot of people are kind of getting to know Lamorne through that. But he is a funny cat, man.
Yeah, man. even in reading like a script like Woke with all like I don't know, do you say supernatural stuff in it or whatever? It's like, this show definitely could be weird and like it's approaching some serious subjects. My biggest fear of anything I ever do is like, I'm just like, the one thing I don't want is shit to be corny. Mm-hmm. So like, once I heard Lamorne would be playing the character, and like knowing that he's like a very good actor and super pro and like can improvise, and like that, I knew the series would be in good hands because he didn't, he took on the role. He definitely looked at like the mental health of this guy, and just, you could tell that he was really a part of the whole process.
What was it like on set with him and the rest of the cast? Was it because you do tackle serious subjects? Was it more of a serious set, or were you guys all just fucking around?
Fucking around. Like, for me, like most of the scenes I'm in are like the roommate scenes. So like, and I've done that on Workaholics before, and those are my like true friends. I came up with those guys. So in that case, I was a little nervous. I'm getting thrown in. Like, I had known Lamorne a little bit. T. Murph, I met at the table read. But that's another reason I got to give props to Mo Marable, the director, is like, we came in and it felt natural. It was cool. We were cracking jokes. We formed a very organic friendship really quickly. And like, T. Murph is a stand-up comedian and just will roast you nonstop. So it was a lot of like, and this was his first show. So Lamorne and I kind of, were helping him out, teaching him in a way like on set. And it was really, really awesome.
Did you feel like that's, I feel like that's kind of a testament to you, not that you would decide the entire atmosphere of this set, but I get the vibe that like you, the Workaholics guys, and whatever like set you're on, it's kind of like we're all just like cool. We're all just like hanging out. It's not like we're all actors on the set here. It's just like, yeah, we're funny guys. We're just like kicking it, and when the lights go on, we act for a little bit, and otherwise we're just hanging out.
I mean, I do pride myself on that, or at least come to the table with this. But it's the same for all three of these, or everybody who was working on set. Is like their work, and I think what you're speaking to is like the egos. The egos can like just break the back of a show. If there's some weird like alpha dog who, it just changed the whole vibe of the set. Yep. And I feel like that, where I'll take credit, but like it does trickle down from Lamorne, him being the like star of the show, number one on the call sheet. If he really wanted to be weird, I feel like the whole show could have a weird vibe. Mm-hmm. But he was definitely like, and he had a lot on his plate. So the fact that like he kept the mood light and cool and fun and creative, and because I try never to bring that weird energy to set. It's just, I know that I have the best job. I might as well be happy while I'm there.
Right, yeah. Not to name names or projects, but have you been on sets before that have a lot of ego that just like tear the whole thing down?
I've been pretty lucky. I'm trying to think if I know I've like been around those energies, but nothing that stands out too much.
It does feel like the stuff I've seen you in always feels like you're just kicking it. So, I mean,
I've been really lucky. Yeah. I've been really lucky. I haven't had to work with any tyrants like, I don't know, Vin Diesel.
You're telling me right now, if you get the call for Fast 10, you're not going to show up because of Vin Diesel?
I'm strapping up, baby.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, let's go.
I'll shave my fucking head. I'll be his little brother. That's it.
No, he has a twin?
He does?
He has a twin who looks nothing like him. That's
not a twin.
Like, if you Google Vin Diesel twin brother, it's like they're together. Like they've been on like covers of magazines together and shit. They don't look. They could be walking down the street together. You would not think they're even related.
What does his brother do?
I fucking don't know.
That is a movie right there. That's a movie or a TV script or something. Vin Diesel's got a younger brother who is like an accountant, and he's so jealous and he hates him. Oh, it's so perfect.
But he can break dance just as well as Vin, because Vin can dance.
This is like a table read. Let's go. Let's get it going, Blake.
Come on.
Yo, you've been around so many people, like so many funny people your whole career. Who do you think is like the funniest person you've ever like worked with or even hung out with?
Oh, funniest person. I mean,
There's gotta be a ton for you.
yeah. I mean, straight out the gate, like Jillian Bell. Like we knew her so early on, and we knew we wanted her to be part of Workaholics, but because she's like literally just one of the funniest people I know.
Is that just hanging out, or is that like her delivery on set?
Both.
Oh.
Good vibe, but like, yeah, I find myself laughing at like her like creative choices and like this, like we came up doing sketches with her, and like all the sketches she would write were just like insanely funny. So
do you get like competitive with that? Are you like, fuck, she's funnier than me? Like, or not funnier than you, but like that sketch is better than the sketch I wrote or something like that?
For sure. When you're in like the come up like that, yeah, there was more of that. I'm not so much that way anymore, but like even the first time I ever met Adam, like in community college, we were in the same improv class, and it was like, he's getting laughs, and coming from high school, being the funniest guy at my school, and he's the same thing, funniest guy at his school. You're coming to college and like seeing him, it was like, fuck this guy.
Yeah.
That's what, I always think about that in sports, where it's like, yeah, you were the captain of your high school team, but so was all these guys who were coming to like the college team. That's funny to think about that in comedy, where it's like, oh shit, we're all the funniest people from the neighborhood.
Yeah, that is for sure like the most real thing. That's what makes being part of a team hard, and that's why I'm proud that me and the dudes are still friends, for sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say, now that there's some distance between Workaholics, like has your outlook on that changed, or like do you miss it more than you thought you might, or any change in the Workaholics like memory, if you will?
Yeah, I mean, I think like very early on, once the show ended, like realizing that we no longer had an excuse to see each other like every day of the week. Yeah, it bummed me out. Like it only helps the creative process when you're in a room with people like every day. So that part I missed. I mean, we recently, since it's quarantine and everything, we're starting to do a podcast. So that's cool to be like
the three.
The four, even Kyle is on the podcast. So
I don't like when celebrities jump in the podcast lane, because that's where we make our money. And that's probably the funniest fucking group I could ever imagine doing a podcast. So fuck you guys.
Yeah, well, hey, we're off to a rocky start. It's good. I've already said it takes 10 to 15 to 20 to 40 episodes to get good at it. So
I have a feeling you guys will be just fine once you get your feet underneath you.
What's the podcast about?
Well, it's called This Is Important. And it's basically just about anything that is important to us. So it's not really that important at all.
All right. Well, I like it. All right. So the people should be on the lookout for This Is Important, the new podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Woke, when does Woke drop? What's the details?
September 9th.
September 9th on Hulu.
Is it going full season drop or week to week?
Full season. So wipe it out in a sitting.
I like that. Well, Hulu started. They were doing week to week stuff. And there were a lot of shows that I liked, and I can't keep up with week-to-week stuff anymore. Like Thrones was the last one I could keep up with, and I think they made a transition. I don't know if they still do it with some of the shows, but High Fidelity was the last one I really liked, and that dropped all at once.
Yeah. Man, doesn't it feel like Thrones was like 500 years ago?
Dude, yo, did you see what the director said about the long night?
No, what?
You didn't see it either, Kevin?
No.
Oh my God. I forget it. It was infuriating.
I love that.
It was like he said that they had because people were upset with how the Night King kind of just died and there wasn't really anything done with him. And he was like, he just said something last night or 2 nights ago. And he said, we actually had a really long, highly choreographed fight scene with the Night King. But I figured after that battle, does anyone care about a guy fighting one-on-one with a spear? And it was like, yeah, dude, that's exactly what I wanted.
We cared. We absolutely cared.
See, we shouldn't even have brought it up. I feel like once it was over, it's like, I don't ever think about that shit anymore. I moved on.
Which is crazy. I always tell this story. It was last year, or maybe it was earlier this year before quarantine, where someone was at
Comic-Con or one of those big events, and they tweeted, they're like, wow, like that last season really killed this franchise because I was here last year and the line to sit on the actual Iron Throne was 6 miles long, right? It was like crazy. And there wasn't a person in line. The throne was sitting there.
Damn.
Like HBO must be furious about how much merchandising movie money they lost out on because just no one thinks about it anymore. Like even like right now in quarantine, everyone's revisiting all these old shows and all kinds of shit and binging shows, great shows they never saw. I haven't seen one tweet about Game of Thrones.
Nope.
Yeah, you're right.
On to that new shit, man. Go check out Woke instead. Fuck Game of Thrones, right?
Yes.
Blake, I appreciate it as always, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you guys. It's good to see you.
Thank you, Blake. Good to see you too, Bob.
Stay safe.
Yeah.